I never expected one innocent dare to flip my life upside down. I mean, how could I? It all started on a slow Saturday afternoon in the middle of July. The heat was unbearable, and my best friend Mia had just gotten back from her trip to Paris. She brought over a bunch of clothes she'd bought, giddy to show them off and play dress up like we used to when we were kids. I laughed, brushing off the idea at first. Dress up? At our age? But Mia wasn't joking. You used to be so fun, she teased, holding up a frilly pink dress that sparkled like cotton candy under the light. Come on, just try it. Those 3 words echoed in my head like a drumbeat. Just try it. I don't know, I mumbled, feeling my face flush. She knew I was shy about certain things I'd never admitted out loud. Mia tilted her head. Please? Just for me. Her eyes sparkled, daring me. And against every instinct I had, I nodded. What harm could one moment of fun do? I slipped behind the curtain in her room and stared at the dress. It looked so delicate, almost too perfect for someone like me. I touched the fabric. It was soft, with lace-trimmed edges and a tiny bow at the neckline. My heart pounded as I slowly stepped into it, tugging the zipper up. The fabric hugged me in a way I wasn't ready for. Looking in the mirror, I saw someone different. Someone I didn't recognize but couldn't stop staring at. Are you done in there? Mia called. I hesitated, then stepped out. Her eyes widened, then softened into a proud smile. Oh wow, you look adorable. I tried to speak, but the words caught in my throat. And that's when she said it, half joking, half something else. You look so much like me, we could be twins. I laughed nervously, trying to brush it off, but Mia wasn't laughing anymore. She circled around me like a fashion scout on a mission. I'm serious. With a little makeup and the right wig, no one would know. You could totally pass as me. I didn't know what to say. My heart was pounding. I felt like I'd stepped onto thin ice, and it hadn't cracked yet, but I could hear it groaning under me. Mia reached out and brushed a bit of hair from my face. You're really beautiful, you know that? You just don't let yourself see it. I turned away. This was just for fun, right? She was quiet for a second. Sure, if you want it to be. Her voice lingered in the air like a trap set with silk. And suddenly, I wasn't sure who I was anymore. The reflection in the mirror didn't match the voice in my head. I wasn't him. I wasn't her. I was someone caught in between. We spent the rest of the afternoon laughing, posing, even filming silly TikToks where we wore matching outfits. She applied light makeup on me, a little blush, mascara, and lip tint, and when I looked at the phone screen, I couldn't deny it anymore. We did look like twins. Later that night, I sat on my bed staring at the photos she'd taken. I should have deleted them, but I didn't. I zoomed in on my smile. It wasn't fake. It was me. A version of me I'd hidden away for years. The next morning, Mia texted. Hey twin, wanna come shopping with me today? I stared at the screen, heart pounding. Was this still a joke? Was she playing some long, twisted game? But then another text followed. I bought something for you. Meet me at noon. Oh, and don't come as him. I swallowed hard. I didn't know what was happening, but I knew I was going. Noon came faster than I expected. I stood in front of my closet, trembling. My fingers brushed across shirts and jeans, but none of them felt right, not after yesterday. Mia's words echoed in my head. Don't come as him. So I opened the drawer where I'd quietly stashed the outfit from yesterday. The soft pink sweater. The skirt that floated when I moved. The little ankle socks. I couldn't believe how quickly those pieces had become more than clothes. They were choices. They were confessions. I got dressed slowly, one layer at a time, listening to my own heartbeat. Then I added light makeup, clumsy, but enough. The wig came last. I looked in the mirror and waited to feel ashamed. But shame never came. What I saw instead was someone who looked like she belonged. When I arrived at the mall, Mia was already waiting by the fountain, waving excitedly. She was dressed in a lavender blouse with flared jeans, and when she saw me, her mouth dropped open just for a second. Then she smiled. Now that's my twin, she said. I blushed. You told me not to come as him. And you listened. She grabbed my hand and tugged me into the nearest boutique. Let's make sure everyone else sees what I see. The next hour was a blur of changing rooms, compliments, and yes, even a few curious looks from strangers. But Mia was my shield. Every time I faltered, she stepped in with a reassuring hand or a whispered joke. And then, in one quiet moment, she held up a necklace with 2 small silver hearts. "One for me," she said, "and one for you." We left the mall wearing them. It felt like I'd stepped into a new life. A fragile one I didn't yet understand. But I wasn't walking into it alone. It was the little things that started to shift first. At school the next day, Mia handed me a hoodie and a skirt, whispering, "Change in the bathroom before second period. I'll handle the rest." I stared at her like she was kidding, but she wasn't. She looked deadly serious. I hesitated, but then she added softly, "You looked happier yesterday." I saw it. "I think you did too." So I did it. I changed. It was subtle just enough to blur the lines. No one said anything outright. A few sideways glances. A few whispers. But Mia walked beside me, arm linked with mine, and for the first time, I didn't feel like I was pretending. I felt like I was finally showing something I'd been hiding. Between classes, Mia dragged me into the girls' bathroom and leaned in close. Okay. So, you're not just cute, she whispered. You're adorable. Like, stupidly adorable. We just need to work on your posture and voice a little. I stared at my reflection. The blush on my cheeks wasn't makeup. "I can't keep this up," I said quietly. "It's just for fun, right?" But she didn't laugh. She looked serious. "Is it?" That question haunted me the rest of the day. And later that night, while trying to fall asleep, I opened my phone and looked at the picture Mia had secretly taken at the mall. Me. In that pink sweater. Standing next to her like we'd always been sisters. I didn't recognize the face exactly, but I wanted to. The next weekend, Mia showed up at my house unannounced. She had a bag slung over her shoulder and a grin that made me nervous. "Your mom said I could come in," she announced like it was totally normal. "We're having a girls' night. No backing out." "A what?" I asked, confused, standing barefoot in my hallway wearing a hoodie that still tried to hide who I was. "A girls' night. Facials, nails, chick flicks, everything you've never let yourself enjoy, but totally want to." She wasn't wrong. I tried to protest, but she grabbed my hand and dragged me into my room like she owned the place. She laid everything out. Makeup, 2 pairs of pajamas, her curling iron, even matching slippers. And the worst part? I gave in so fast. She painted my nails while we sat cross-legged on my bed. She showed me how to apply eyeliner without poking myself in the eye. We laughed so hard when I got lipstick on my teeth. By the time we were watching an old rom-com, I had my head on her shoulder, wrapped in a soft pink robe, with my nails drying and my heart pounding. I turned to her during a quiet scene and asked, "Why are you doing this for me?" She looked at me, like the answer was obvious. "Because someone should have let you be you a long time ago." I didn't respond. I just looked down at my painted nails and felt the strangest mix of comfort and fear. Comfort because I felt seen. Fear because I didn't know what this meant anymore. Was I her best friend? Her project? Or something more? The line between fun and real was getting harder and harder to see. The next morning, I woke up with the scent of Mia's shampoo still clinging to the borrowed robe I was wearing. She had fallen asleep beside me, curled up like we used to as kids during sleepovers, except everything felt different now. My nails were still glossy, my face still lightly powdered, and my heart still confused. I carefully slipped out of bed and went to the bathroom. When I looked in the mirror, I didn't see him anymore. I saw something softer, gentler. Someone I'd kept buried for so long. Mia knocked gently on the door. "You okay in there?" I opened it, still in the pink robe, unsure what to say. She looked at me with a sleepy smile. "I like you like this." I swallowed hard. Like how? Like someone who isn't pretending anymore. Her words hit me deep. I didn't even realize how much I'd been pretending until she called it out like that. That day, we went out together. Not to the mall or anywhere crowded, just a quiet park on the edge of town. She handed me a soft hoodie and jeans she had picked out that were definitely made for girls. The cut, the color, even the way they hugged my frame, it was subtle, but impossible to ignore. I hesitated. Are you sure? She nodded, handing me a lip tint. Twin looks don't just happen by accident. I stared at her. Wait, twin looks? Mia grinned. You said you'd try it. So try being my twin. Just for today. I almost said no. But something in her eyes said she needed this as much as I did. So I nodded. And as we walked through that quiet park, both of us with ponytails, matching jeans, and oversized sweaters, people stared. But not in disgust. In curiosity. And I felt proud. Proud and terrified. Because pretending to be someone else is one thing. But what if this wasn't pretending anymore? What if I was becoming the person Mia already saw? That peaceful park walk, where we laughed and took selfies like sisters, felt like a dream I never knew I'd wanted. But dreams, I was learning, don't stay perfect forever. We had just finished eating ice cream, Mia insisting we try the same flavor so we could match on the inside too, when her smile suddenly froze. She was looking at something or someone behind me. I turned slowly, and there, standing just a few feet away, was Josh. Not just any Josh. My Josh. My old childhood friend. The one who hadn't seen me in years. The one who still called me bro and wouldn't stop talking about cars and gym stuff. He stared. At me. At us. At my pastel hoodie. The way I stood nervously beside Mia. The glint of pink gloss still faint on my lips. What the hell? He asked, blinking like he wasn't sure if it was me or not. I froze. My legs wouldn't move. My throat dried up. Everything inside me screamed to run. But Mia stepped forward first. This is my best friend, she said, wrapping an arm around me protectively. And she's amazing. Josh's brow furrowed. She? He looked me up and down like I was some puzzle he couldn't solve. I tried to speak. Josh, it's not what. But then I stopped myself. Why was I apologizing? I looked at Mia so strong, so calm, and I remembered her words. Don't pretend anymore. So I stood up straighter, trembling but firm. It is what it looks like, I said quietly. I'm figuring out who I am. And right now, this feels right. Josh stared. Then he scoffed. This some joke? Like a dare or something? Mia didn't flinch. It's not a joke. And even if it started with a dare, it's real now. His silence hurt more than anything he could have said. He walked off, shaking his head. I sat down on the bench, heart pounding, chest aching. Mia didn't say anything. She just sat next to me and held my hand. We stayed like that until the sun dipped low. No more pretending. But now, I wasn't sure who I'd lose next because of it. The car ride back from the park was quiet. Mia didn't force conversation. She just let the silence wrap around us, like she knew I needed time to breathe. My heart was still racing from seeing Josh. The way he looked at me, it was like I'd broken some code of friendship, of masculinity, of everything I used to be. I didn't even notice, when we pulled into her driveway, until she nudged my arm gently.
Come on, she said.
Mom's inside. She made lemon tea. I hesitated. Mia's mom, Karen, was warm and funny, but I hadn't seen her since I started looking like this. Dressed like this. Being like this. What if she hates it? I whispered. Mia smiled and tucked a piece of hair behind my ear. She won't. But if she does, I won't. That was all I needed to hear. I followed Mia inside, trying not to look down at the way my jeans hugged my legs differently now, or how my shoulders seemed narrower under the blush pink sweater she lent me. Karen was in the kitchen, humming. She looked up when we walked in, and for a moment she froze. Her eyes scanned me slowly, not in judgment, but in careful study. She glanced at the light shimmer on my cheeks, the gloss, the soft way I was standing slightly behind Mia. Hi, sweetheart, she said calmly. You must be hungry. I blinked.
Mia nudged me.
She means you. Karen smiled. You look beautiful. Both of you. Like matching little angels. I nearly choked on air. You're okay with this? She set the kettle down and walked over. Honey, I've seen the way you two look at each other. Not just with affection, but with trust. Real trust. That's rare. If this is what makes you feel like yourself, who am I to argue with that? Tears welled up. I hadn't expected this. I didn't even know how badly I needed to hear it. Karen hugged me gently. You have more courage than most people do their whole lives. That's something to be proud of. That night, after dinner, Mia and I sat on her bed and painted our nails together. Matching colors, of course soft rose with silver tips. We took a selfie. We looked like twins. And I smiled, truly smiled, for the first time in days. But as I drifted off to sleep in her guest room that night, wrapped in a satin nightgown Mia laid out for me, I couldn't shake the feeling. This was becoming more than dress up. This was becoming who I really was. And part of me was terrified what that meant for everything else in my life. The next morning, sunlight filtered through the curtains like a gentle nudge from the universe itself. I sat up slowly, stretching, half expecting the events of the last few days to vanish like a dream. But the silky nightgown brushing against my legs reminded me that everything was very real. Too real. Mia popped her head in through the doorway, holding 2 mugs. Tea, she offered with a teasing smile. You'll need it. Big day. Big day. I blinked, sitting straighter. Wait, what's today?
She grinned.
Picture day at school. And we're going as twins. My stomach dropped. Mia, I already laid out your outfit. It's identical to mine. Light blue cardigan, pleated white skirt, and those cute flats you liked at the mall. Mia, I can't. She walked over, placed the mug in my hands, and looked me in the eye. Yes, you can. Because you've already done harder things. And, besides, do you trust me? I swallowed hard. My fingers tightened around the warm ceramic. More than anyone. Then let me help you be you. The outfit was beautiful. And terrifying. My heart thundered as I slipped it on, my reflection slowly changing from someone pretending to someone believable. Someone real. We did our makeup together, laughing when I messed up my eyeliner and she had to fix it. She braided my hair over my shoulder, mirroring hers. Side by side, in the mirror, we looked like matching versions of a secret I hadn't even admitted fully to myself. But the hallway at school? That was another world. People stared. Some whispered. Some giggled. Others just looked confused. And then came Tyler, the guy I used to hang out with at lunch. He stopped in front of me, blinking slowly. Is that you? I nodded, heart pounding.
Cool, he said.
You two look good. That was it. No insults. No laughing. Just
cool.
Mia smiled proudly, slipping her hand into mine. Come on, twin. Let's go get our picture taken. I didn't expect to feel proud in that moment. But I did. Even with my nerves and the stares, I stood there in front of that camera with Mia beside me and smiled.
Click.
In that instant, something changed. Not just in how I looked, but how I felt. Like I was finally stepping into a version of me that had been waiting in the shadows. I didn't expect much from picture day. Just a couple photos, maybe a comment or 2 in the hallway. But by the time lunch rolled around, Mia's phone was buzzing nonstop. She glanced at the screen and gave me a sheepish look. We're trending. My stomach dropped. What do you mean, trending? She turned the screen toward me. There we were, me and Mia, side by side in matching outfits, smiling like we owned the world. Someone had posted the image to a local student group on social media with a caption, "Cutest twins on campus?" The post had over 300 comments and climbing. I read a few. They look amazing. Wait, is that him? Why does he look better in that outfit than I ever could? I felt dizzy. Mia must have sensed it because she nudged me gently and said, most of the comments are positive. Look, this one says we should start a fashion blog together. But I was stuck on the others. The whispers. The not-so-subtle judgments hidden in supposed compliments. I didn't want all this attention, I muttered, pushing my food around on the tray. She leaned closer. But isn't it better than hiding? Her words hit hard, because deep down I knew she was right. Still, the whispers kept coming. And then someone unexpected sat down at our table.
Chloe.
Cheer captain. Queen of the hallway. Known for being sharp-tongued and cruel when she wanted to be. I braced myself. But she didn't sneer. She didn't laugh. She looked me over and said, "So, you're Mia's new twin." I nodded cautiously. "Well," she said, flipping her hair back. "It's about time someone shook up this boring school." Then she turned to Mia. "You've got taste. Where do you get the cardigans?" Mia blinked. I'll DM you the link." Chloe stood. "Do that. Oh, and keep bringing the drama." "I like it." She walked off, leaving both of us staring. "What just happened?" I asked. Mia grinned. "You just got Chloe's approval. That's rarer than gold." It felt surreal. A few days ago, I was secretly trying on skirts when no one was around. Now I was getting nods from the queen bee and going viral online. But with attention comes risk. And as the day wore on, one message appeared that made my blood run cold. It was from my cousin Alex, the one who lived nearby, the one who'd never be okay with this. The message was short. "Saw the photo. We need to talk." That message from Alex lingered in my mind like a thundercloud. I tried to brush it off, but even Mia noticed my sudden silence. "You okay?" she asked gently as we walked toward her car after school. "I got a message," I admitted. "From Alex. He saw the photo and wants to talk." She winced. "Is he the type to freak out?" I nodded slowly. "Very." She opened the passenger door for me but kept her hand on mine before I climbed in. "Whatever happens, I'm with you. Okay? You don't have to go through this alone." I wanted to believe that. I really did. But as soon as I stepped into the house, my phone buzzed again, this time with a photo of me and Mia, printed from the online post, and taped to the fridge. Alex was waiting in the kitchen. He didn't say anything right away. He just pointed at the photo. "Explain," he said, his voice low. My heart pounded. I had no script for this. No backup. It's not what you think. I tried. "You're dressing like a girl."
Publicly.
"With her." "I'm not hurting anyone." He cut me off. "You're embarrassing the family." That did it. That sentence. I felt my throat close up, my stomach twist. But I didn't cry. I didn't run. I looked him in the eye and said, "Then maybe the family needs to rethink what embarrassment really means." There was silence. Cold, heavy silence. Then he scoffed and walked past me. "Do what you want. Just don't expect me to pretend it's normal." I stood there for a long time after he left.
Numb.
Empty. Until Mia called. "Hey," she said softly. "You don't have to say anything. Just want to come over?" I made brownies. I didn't even pack a bag. I just went. Her house felt like safety. A warm blanket wrapped around my identity. We sat in her room, lights dimmed, chocolate in our hands. She didn't pry. She just let me be. Later that night, I looked at myself in her mirror. The clothes, the soft curls she'd styled in my hair earlier, the delicate necklace, she said, suited my energy. And I realized something. I liked who I saw. For the first time, I didn't want to hide anymore.